The kind little star. Once upon a time, high in the sky lived a little star. She was very small and twinkled softly. She watched the world below. One night, she saw a little boy crying. He had lost his toy. The little star felt sad for him, Dot. She shone her light down to the boy. Her light was gentle and warm. It helped the boy see in the dark. The boy looked up. He saw the little star. Her light made him feel better. He smiled. He found his toy in the soft glow. The little star was happy. She used her light to help. She learned that even a small light can make a big difference. Moral: being kind and helpful makes the world brighter. The Little Bird and the Lost Song. A tiny bird, Pip, loved to sing. He had a beautiful song. One day a strong wind blew. Pip's song flew away. Pip was very sad. "My song's gone," he chirped. "I can't sing anymore." He looked everywhere. He looked in the trees. He looked under the leaves. But his song was nowhere to be found. A wise old owl saw Pip. "Don't be sad, little bird," said the owl. "You can make a new song." Pip didn't believe him, but he tried. He listened to the wind. He listened to the river. He listened to the leaves. He started to chirp. He made new sounds. Slowly, a new song came. It was different, but it was beautiful. Pip sang his new song. He was happy. He learned that even when something is lost, you can find something new. Moral: you can always find new joy, even after losing something special. The Little Tree and the Storm. A small tree grew on a hill. It was thin and weak. One day, a big storm came. The wind howled. The rain poured down. All the big, strong trees bent and swayed. The little tree shook and trembled. It was afraid it would break. "Oh no," it whispered. "I'm too small. I'll fall down." But the little tree held on. It bent with the wind. It let the rain wash over it. It held its roots tightly in the ground. The storm raged all night. The next morning, the sun came out. The big trees were broken. Many branches had fallen. But the little tree was still standing. It was bent, but it was strong. It had survived the storm. It learned that even though it was small, it was tough. Moral: you are stronger than you think. The Little Firefly's Light. A small firefly, Flicker, was very sad. His light was very dim. All the other fireflies had bright, shining lights. Flicker's light was just a tiny glow. "My light is too small," he sighed. "I can't shine like the others." One night, a little lost beetle was crawling in the dark. He was very scared. He couldn't see anything. Flicker saw the beetle. He felt sorry for him. He flew close to the beetle. His tiny light shone on the path. "Thank you," said the beetle. "Your light helped me find my way." Flicker was surprised. His small light was helpful. He flew around, shining his light on the dark path. He helped other lost insects. He learned that even a small light can make a big difference. He was happy, even though his light was dim. Moral: even small things can be very helpful. The two best friends, Leo and Mia, were best friends. They did everything together. One day, they found a shiny red ball. "It's mine," said Leo. "I saw it first." "No, it's mine," said Mia. "I want to play with it." They started to argue. They pulled the ball. They got very angry. A wise old woman saw them. "Why are you fighting?" she asked. Leo and Mia looked down. They felt a little bit ashamed. "We both want the ball," said Leo. "But we are best friends," said Mia. The wise woman smiled. "Why don't you share it?" she said. "You can take turns." Leo and Mia looked at each other. They nodded. They decided to take turns. First, Leo played with the ball. Then Mia played with it. They both had fun. They learned that being friends is more important than having things. Moral: friendship is more important than having your own way. The Greedy Fox and the Sharing Squirrels. Foxy the fox was very greedy. He always wanted more than his share. He saw a big pile of acorns that belonged to a family of squirrels. "Those acorns are mine," he thought. "I'll take them all." He crept towards the pile, his eyes gleaming. The squirrels, Sammy, Sally, and their little brother Skip were busy organizing their winter food. Foxy pounced. He scattered the acorns, trying to grab as many as he could. The squirrels were frightened and confused. "Stop!" cried Sammy. "Those are for our family." Foxy just laughed. "They're mine now," he said, stuffing his cheeks. But the squirrels were quick and clever. They worked together. Sammy distracted Foxy while Sally and Skip gathered the scattered acorns. They hid them in a safe place. Foxy, with his mouth full, couldn't catch them. He soon realized he couldn't eat all the acorns at once. He started to choke. The squirrels, seeing Foxy in trouble, felt pity. They brought him some water. "We'll share the acorns," Sammy said, "but you have to promise to share too." Foxy, feeling weak and ashamed, nodded. He learned that being greedy only brings trouble, and sharing brings friends. Moral: greed leads to trouble, but sharing and kindness bring happiness and friendship. The Slow Turtle and the Fast Rabbit. Once there was a slow turtle. He walked very slowly. There was also a fast rabbit. He ran very fast. The rabbit laughed at the turtle. "You are so slow," he said. "I am very fast." The turtle felt a little sad, but he did not stop walking. He kept going. Slowly, slowly he walked. One day they had a race. The rabbit ran very fast. He ran far ahead. Then he stopped to rest. "I am so fast," he said. "I can rest now." The turtle kept walking. Slowly, slowly he walked. He did not stop. The rabbit fell asleep. The turtle walked past him. The turtle got to the end first. The rabbit woke up. He ran to the end, but the turtle was already there. The turtle won the race. The rabbit was surprised. Moral: slow and steady wins the race. The Little River and the Big Sea. A little river flowed down a mountain. It was small and clear. It wanted to see the big sea. "I want to be big and strong like the sea," it said. The river flowed through green fields. It flowed past tall trees. It flowed through a noisy town. Sometimes the river felt tired. "I'm so small," it sighed. "I'll never reach the sea." But it kept flowing. It met other small rivers. They joined together. The river grew bigger and stronger. It flowed through a wide valley. It flowed past sandy beaches. Finally, it reached the big sea. The sea welcomed the river. "Welcome," said the sea. "You are part of me now." The river was happy. It was no longer small. It was part of the big blue sea. It learned that even small things can achieve big dreams. Moral: even small things can achieve big dreams with persistence. The little seed and the tall sunflower. A tiny seed lay in the dark earth. It was scared and alone. "It's so dark," it whispered. "I'll never grow." A kind earthworm wiggled near. "Don't worry," said the earthworm. "I'll help you." The earthworm loosened the soil. The rain fell softly. The sun shone warmly. The little seed started to sprout. It grew a little stem. Then it grew leaves. It grew taller and taller. It became a tall sunflower. The sunflower turned its face to the sun. It was bright and yellow. It was happy and strong. "Thank you, earthworm," said the sunflower. "You helped me grow." The earthworm smiled. "Everyone needs help sometimes," he said. The sunflower learned that even small seeds can grow into something beautiful with a little help. Moral: everyone needs help sometimes. and with help, we can grow. The Curious Crow and the Helpful Hedgehog Corvus. The crow was very curious. He loved to explore and ask questions. One day, he found a shiny, round object lying in the grass. "What is this?" he wondered. He tried to pick it up with his beak, but it was too slippery. He tried to push it with his feet, but it wouldn't move. He saw Hazel the hedgehog nearby. Hazel was known for her kindness and helpful nature. "Hazel," Corvus called, "what is this shiny thing?" Hazel carefully examined the object. "It's a marble," she said. "It's very smooth and round." "What is it for?" Corvus asked. "Children play with them," Hazel explained. "They roll them and try to hit other marbles." Corvus was fascinated. He wanted to try. "Can you show me how?" he asked. Hazel smiled. "Of course," she said. She rolled the marble gently, showing Corvus how it moved. Corvus tried to roll it, but his beak wasn't very good at it. He kept dropping the marble. Hazel saw his frustration. "Don't give up," she said. "It takes practice." She helped Corvus find a small stick to push the marble. With practice, Corvus learned to roll the marble and even hit other small stones. Corvus was thrilled. "Thank you, Hazel," he said. "You're a great teacher." Hazel smiled. "You're a good learner," she said, "and it's always fun to learn new things." Corvus learned that curiosity and asking for help can lead to new and exciting experiences. Moral: curiosity and asking for help can lead to wonderful discoveries. The Shy Starfish and the Big Ocean. Shelley the starfish was very shy. She lived in a big blue ocean. The ocean was full of colorful fish and playful dolphins, but Shelley stayed hidden under a big rock. "The ocean is too big," she whispered. "I'm too small." One day, a little clownfish, Nemo, swam under Shelley's rock. "Hello?" he said. "Why are you hiding?" Shelley blushed. "I'm shy," she said. "The ocean is too big for me." Nemo smiled. "But the ocean is for everyone," he said. "Come and play." Shelley was scared, but she wanted to try. She slowly came out from under the rock. Nemo showed her how to swim. He showed her the coral reefs. He showed her the playful dolphins. Shelley was amazed. The ocean was beautiful. She wasn't scared anymore. She played with Nemo and the other fish. She learned that even though the ocean was big, she could be brave. Moral: don't be afraid to try new things, even if they seem scary. The Brave Hedgehog and the Bully Bear. Harry the Hedgehog was small and quiet. He liked to explore the forest, but he was often scared of Barnaby the Bear. Barnaby was big and loud, and he liked to bully the other animals. One day, Harry was gathering berries when he saw Barnaby cornering a small rabbit. The rabbit was trembling, and Barnaby was laughing. "Give me all your carrots," Barnaby growled. Harry felt a surge of anger. He knew he was small, but he couldn't let Barnaby be mean. He rolled into a tight ball, his sharp quills sticking out. He rolled towards Barnaby, bumping into his legs. Barnaby yelped in surprise. "Hey, what was that?" Harry unrolled and stood tall. "Leave the rabbit alone," he squeaked. Barnaby laughed. "You? A little hedgehog? You can't stop me." But the other animals, who had seen Harry's bravery, came to help. The squirrels chattered loudly. The birds swooped down and pecked at Barnaby's ears. The rabbit, now brave, hopped and nipped at Barnaby's heels. Barnaby was overwhelmed. He ran away, his tail between his legs. The animals cheered for Harry. He was small, but he was brave. He learned that even the smallest creature can stand up to a bully. Moral: even the smallest person can be brave and stand up for what's right. The Little Library and the Lost Boy. In a quiet town, there was a small library. It was filled with books of all kinds. A little boy named Alex loved to read. He would spend hours in the library, lost in stories. One day, Alex felt very sad. He had lost his favorite toy, a small wooden airplane. He looked everywhere but couldn't find it. He went to the library, hoping to find a book that would make him feel better, but he was too sad to read. The librarian, Mrs. Rose, saw his sad face. "What's wrong, Alex?" she asked. Alex told her about his lost airplane. Mrs. Rose smiled. "Maybe we can find a story about a lost toy," she said. They looked through the shelves. They found a book about a boy who lost his toy and found it again. Alex read the story. It made him feel a little better. Then Mrs. Rose said, "Let's make a lost and found poster for your airplane." They made a colorful poster with a picture of the airplane. They put it up in the library window. The next day, a little girl came to the library. She saw the poster. "I found this airplane in the park," she said. Alex was so happy. He thanked the little girl and Mrs. Rose. He learned that even when things are lost, they can be found with a little help and hope. Moral: hope and help can find what seems lost. The Proud Peacock and the Humble Sparrow. Percy, the peacock, was very proud of his beautiful tail. He would strut around the forest, showing off his colorful feathers. "Look at me," he'd cry. "I'm the most beautiful bird." A small sparrow, Mo, watched Percy. Mo's feathers were plain and brown. He didn't have a colorful tail. One day, a big storm came. The wind howled and the rain poured down. Percy's beautiful tail got wet and heavy. He couldn't fly. He was stuck in the mud. Mo, being small and light, could easily fly through the storm. He saw Percy struggling. Mo flew down and landed near him. "Are you all right?" Mo asked. Percy was ashamed. He had been so proud, but now he needed help. "No," he said, "my tail is too heavy." Mo flew to a nearby branch and broke off small twigs. He brought them to Percy, who used them to prop up his tail. When the storm ended, Percy could fly again. He looked at Mo. "Thank you," he said. "You helped me, even though I was mean." Mo smiled. "Beauty isn't everything," he said. "Kindness is more important." Percy learned that being humble and kind is better than being proud and boastful. Moral: true beauty comes from kindness and humility, not just outward appearances. The Forgetful Elephant and the Little Ant. Ellie the elephant was very big, but she was also very forgetful. She often forgot where she put things or what she was supposed to do. Andy the ant was very small, but he had a great memory. He remembered everything. One sunny day, Ellie was carrying a big bunch of bananas. She was taking them to a picnic with her friends, but as she walked, she started to forget where she was going. "Where was I going?" she mumbled. "Oh dear, I've forgotten." She wandered around, lost and confused. Andy the ant saw her. "Ellie, you're going to the picnic by the big tree," he said. "You're carrying bananas." "Oh, thank you, Andy," Ellie exclaimed. "You're a lifesaver." They walked together, Andy reminding Ellie of the path. But then Ellie forgot where she put her favorite blanket. She looked everywhere, but it was nowhere to be found. "It was blue and soft," she said sadly. "I don't know where it went." "You left it by the riverbank," Andy said. "Remember, you sat on it while you ate berries?" Ellie's face lit up. "You're amazing, Andy," she said. "You remember everything." They went to the riverbank, and there was the blanket. Ellie thanked Andy again. Ellie realized that even though she was big and strong, she needed Andy's help. And Andy, though small, was very helpful. They learned that everyone has different strengths and they could help each other. Moral: everyone has something to offer, and we should appreciate and help each other. The little cloud and the big mountain. A tiny cloud, Fluff, floated in the sky. He was very small and white. He saw a big tall mountain. The mountain was gray and rocky. "Oh, I wish I was big like the mountain," Fluff sighed. "I'm just a little cloud." The sun shone brightly. Fluff started to feel warm. He felt himself growing. He grew bigger and bigger. He became a big, fluffy cloud. The wind blew him towards the mountain. Fluff saw the mountain's dry, rocky top. "The plants are thirsty," he thought. Fluff started to rain. Soft, gentle rain fell on the mountain. The plants drank the water. They started to grow green leaves. The mountain was happy. "Thank you, little cloud," it said. "You helped me." Fluff was surprised. Even though he was small at first, he could still help. He learned that everyone can make a difference. Moral: even small things can have a big impact. The little turtle and the big race Toby. The turtle was very slow. He walked very slowly. All the other animals laughed at him. One day, the animals decided to have a race. They invited Toby. Toby was nervous, but he wanted to try. "Ready, set, go!" shouted the owl. The rabbit zoomed ahead. The fox ran quickly. The deer leaped gracefully. Toby started his slow, steady walk. The rabbit stopped to eat carrots. The fox stopped to chase butterflies. The deer stopped to admire his reflection in a pond. Toby kept walking. He didn't stop. He didn't look at the other animals. He just kept walking slowly and steadily. The rabbit ate too many carrots and fell asleep. The fox got lost chasing butterflies. The deer got distracted by his reflection. Toby, slowly but surely, crossed the finish line. He won the race. The other animals were surprised. They learned that being slow doesn't mean you can't win. Morale: slow and steady wins the race, and never give up. The lost lamp and the wise owl. The lamb was very curious. She loved to explore the fields around her home. One day, she wandered too far and got lost. The sun was setting and the shadows grew long. The lamp was scared. "Bah!" she cried, but no one answered. She felt tears welling up in her eyes. High above, perched on a branch, sat Oliver the owl. He was known for his wisdom and gentle nature. He heard the lamp's cries. "Little lamb, why are you crying?" he hooted softly. The lamp looked up, her eyes wide. "I'm lost," she said. "I don't know how to get home." Oliver nodded. "Don't worry," he said. "I can help you, but it's getting dark and the path is long. We must be patient." He flew down and landed beside her. "First," he said, "we must find the North Star. It will guide us." He pointed to a bright star in the sky. "See that star? It will show us the way." They started walking, Oliver flying ahead to guide the lamp. He told her stories of the forest and the creatures that lived there. He kept her calm and focused. The path was winding, and sometimes the lamp stumbled. But Oliver was patient, never rushing her. Finally, they saw the lights of the farm in the distance. The lamp's heart leaped with joy. "Thank you, Oliver," she cried. "You saved me." Oliver smiled. "Remember, little lamb," he said, "even when you're lost, there is always a way home, and patience and kindness will guide you." The lamp ran towards the lights, her heart full of gratitude. She learned that Even when she was scared, there was always someone willing to help. Moral: patience and kindness can guide us through difficult times, and help is often found in unexpected places. The Lost Acorn and the Patient Squirrel. A tiny acorn fell from a tall oak tree. It landed in a pile of leaves. "Oh no!" cried the acorn. "I'm lost!" A little squirrel, Squeaky, found the acorn. "Don't worry," he said. "I'll help you." Squeaky knew that acorns grow into big trees. He dug a small hole in the ground. He gently placed the acorn inside. He covered it with soft earth. "Now we wait," said Squeaky. The acorn was sad. "But I want to be a tree now," it said. Squeaky smiled. "Good things take time," he said. They waited. The sun shone. The rain fell. Squeaky visited the acorn every day. He kept the earth moist. Slowly, a tiny sprout appeared. It grew into a small sapling. It grew taller and stronger. The acorn, now a young tree, was happy. "Thank you, Squeaky," it said. "You were very patient." Squeaky smiled. "It was worth the wait," he said. Moral: patience brings good things. The Timid Turtle and the Loud Lion. Timothy, the turtle, was very timid. He was afraid of loud noises and big animals. Leo, the lion, on the other hand, was very loud and proud. He loved to roar and make everyone listen to him. One day, a terrible storm swept through the jungle. The wind howled and the rain poured down. All the animals were scared. Leo, usually so loud, was terrified. He hid under a big tree, whimpering. He had never seen such a fierce storm. Timothy, despite being timid, knew he had to help. He had a strong shell that could protect him from the rain. He slowly and carefully walked towards Leo. "Leo," he said softly, "you can come under my shell. It will keep you safe." Leo looked up, surprised. He was ashamed to admit he was scared, but he was also grateful. He crawled under Timothy's shell. The storm raged, but under Timothy's shell, they were safe and dry. Leo, who was usually so loud, was quiet and thankful. When the storm passed, Leo looked at Timothy. "Thank you," he said. "I didn't know you were so brave." Timothy smiled. "We all have our strengths," he said, "and we can all help each other." Leo learned that being loud and strong wasn't everything. He learned that even a timid turtle could be brave and kind. Moral: everyone has strengths, and kindness can be found in unexpected places. The Little Star and the Dark Night. A little star, Sparkle, was afraid of the dark. Every night the sky became dark, and Sparkle would hide behind the clouds. "The dark is scary," she whispered. "I don't want to shine in the dark." One night, a lost little owl, Hoot, flew by. He was crying. "I can't see where I'm going," he said. "It's too dark." Sparkle felt sorry for Hoot. She remembered her own fear, but she also knew she could help. She took a deep breath and shone her light. It was a small, gentle light, but it was enough. Hoot saw Sparkle's light. "Thank you," he said. "You helped me see." Sparkle felt a warm feeling inside. She shone her light brighter. Other stars saw her and started to shine too. The night was no longer dark. It was filled with twinkling lights. Sparkle learned that even though the dark can be scary, her light could make it better. Morale: even a little light can make a big difference in the darkness. The Little Rabbit and the Carrot. Once there was a little rabbit. He loved carrots. One day he saw a big orange carrot. It was the biggest carrot he had ever seen. He wanted the carrot very much, but a big grumpy bear was near it. The bear looked very scary. The little rabbit was scared, but he was also very hungry. He thought about a plan. He went to the bear. "Hello, Mr. Bear," he said. "That is a very big carrot." The bear looked at the rabbit. "Yes, it is," he growled. "Go away, little rabbit." The rabbit did not go away. He said, "Mr. Bear, if you share the carrot with me, I will tell you a funny story." The bear liked funny stories. He thought about it. "Okay," he said, "but the story better be very funny." The rabbit told a funny story. The bear laughed. They shared the big orange carrot. They both were happy. Moral: being clever and kind can help you get what you want. The Little Lantern and the Dark Path. A small lantern, Flicker, hung in a dark old house. The house was empty and cold. "I'm just a little light," Flicker sighed. "What good am I in this big dark place?" One night, a lost mouse, Pip, scurried into the house. He was scared and couldn't see anything. He bumped into walls and tripped over furniture. Flicker saw Pip's fear. He shone his small light as brightly as he could. The light made a small circle on the floor. Pip saw the light. "Thank you," he squeaked. "I can see now." Flicker's light showed Pip the way. Pip followed the light, carefully stepping over obstacles. They came to a small hole in the wall. It led outside. Pip scurried through the hole and into the night. "You saved me," Pip said to Flicker. "Your little light was enough." Flicker felt a warm glow. He realized that even a small light can make a big difference in the darkness. Morale: even small acts of kindness can light the way for others. The Little Seed and the Big Rock. Once there was a tiny seed. It was very small and round. One day, the wind blew the seed to a new place. "Oh no," said the seed, "a big rock." The rock was very big and gray. The seed was scared. "I can't grow here," it said. "The rock is too big." But the sun shined and the rain fell. The seed started to grow. It pushed its little roots into the ground. It pushed its little sprout up to the sky dot. The rock was still there, but the seed did not stop growing. It grew and grew. It became a little plant. Then it became a big, strong plant dot. The plant grew flowers. The flowers were very pretty. The rock was still big, but the plant was happy. Moral: even when things are hard, you can still grow and be strong. The Lazy Lion and the Busy Bees. Leonard the lion was very lazy. He spent most of his days sleeping under a big tree. He didn't like to hunt or work. He thought he was the king of the jungle, so everyone should serve him. A group of bees, buzzing and busy, lived nearby. They worked hard, collecting nectar and making honey. They were always active. One day, Leonard woke up hungry. He hadn't hunted in days. "Bees," he roared, "bring me honey." The bees, though scared, were also annoyed. "We worked hard for this honey," they buzzed. "Why should we give it to you?" Leonard roared again. "Because I'm the king," he said. "Do as I say." The bees, instead of giving him honey, decided to teach him a lesson. They flew around him, buzzing loudly. They stung his nose and his paws. Leonard yelped and swatted at them. He ran away, his tail between his legs. He was surprised. He had never been chased away before. He sat down, feeling sorry for himself. He saw the bees working together, collecting nectar. He saw how hard they worked. He realized that they were strong because they worked together. He decided to change. He started to hunt for his own food. He helped the other animals when they needed it. The bees, seeing his change, decided to give him a small jar of honey. Leonard thanked them, and they became friends. Leonard learned that being lazy and demanding was wrong. He learned that hard work and kindness are more important. Moral: hard work and kindness are better than laziness and demanding behavior. The Patient Tortoise and the Busy Beavers. Tilly the tortoise was known for her patience. She took her time with everything. The beavers, Benny and Betty, were always busy. They were building a big dam on the river. "We need more wood," Benny would shout. "Hurry, Betty!" "Yes, yes," Betty would reply, rushing to gather branches. Tilly watched them, slowly munching on a leaf. She noticed they were making mistakes. They were rushing so much, they weren't building the dam properly. One day, the river flooded, the dam broke, and all the wood washed away. Benny and Betty were very upset. Tilly slowly walked over to them. "Why don't you build it slowly?" she asked. "Take your time." "We don't have time," Benny said. "We need to fix it quickly." "But rushing will only make it worse," Tilly said. "Let's plan it out first." Benny and Betty, tired and frustrated, decided to listen. They sat down with Tilly, and she helped them plan the dam. They carefully measured and placed each branch. It took longer, but the dam was stronger and more stable. The river flowed smoothly, and the beavers were happy. They learned that patience and careful planning are better than rushing and making mistakes. Moral: patience and planning lead to better results than rushing and carelessness. The Lost Kitten and the Kind Girl. A small, fluffy kitten was lost. He was all alone in a big, busy street. He meowed sadly. A little girl named Anna was walking home. She heard the kitten's sad meow. She saw the tiny kitten all alone and scared. Anna felt sorry for the kitten. She picked him up gently. "Poor little thing," she said, "you're lost." She took the kitten home. She gave him warm milk. She made a soft bed for him. The kitten purred happily. Anna put up posters around the neighborhood. "Lost kitten," the posters said. A few days later, a woman came to Anna's house. "That's my kitten," she cried. She hugged the kitten tightly. The woman was very happy. She thanked Anna for taking care of her kitten. Anna was happy too. She was glad she helped. Moral: being kind to animals makes the world a better place. The little drum in the big parade. Timmy had a small drum. He loved to bang on it, but it wasn't very loud. "My drum is too quiet," he sighed. One day, the town had a big parade. There were big drums, loud trumpets, and shiny cymbals. Timmy wanted to play, but he was afraid his drum was too small. His grandpa smiled. "Every drum has its own sound," he said. "Let's find yours." They listened to the big drums. They listened to the loud trumpets. They listened to the shiny cymbals. "They are all loud," Timmy said. "But yours has a special beat," Grandpa said. "It's light and quick." Timmy started to play his drum. He played a quick, light beat. It was different from the other instruments, but it fit perfectly. The parade marched down the street. The big drums boomed, the trumpets blared, the cymbals crashed, and Timmy's little drum kept a steady, quick beat. People smiled and clapped. Timmy's drum added a special rhythm to the parade. He learned that even small things can make a big difference. Moral: everyone has a unique talent to share. The Sharing Berries. Lily and Tom were best friends. They loved to play in the woods. One sunny day, they found a bush full of bright red berries. "Look," said Lily, "so many berries." Tom's tummy rumbled. "I'm so hungry," he said. He started to pick all the berries for himself. Lily looked sad. "But Tom," she said, "we should share them." Tom stopped. He looked at Lily's sad face. He looked at all the berries. He felt a little bit bad. "You're right, Lily," he said. "We should share." They picked the berries together. They washed them in a clear stream. Then they sat under a big tree and shared the sweet berries. They laughed and talked. The berries tasted even better when they shared them. Moral: sharing makes everyone happy. The little boat and the big river. A small boat, Blue, floated on a wide river. The river was long and strong. Blue wanted to reach the sea. "I'm so small," Blue worried. "I'll never get there." The river flowed past green trees and tall buildings. Blue saw big ships sailing by. They looked so strong and fast. Blue felt a little sad, but he kept floating. He followed the river's flow. Sometimes the river was calm. Sometimes it was rough. But Blue kept going. He learned to float over the waves. He learned to steer around rocks. Days turned into nights. The stars shone above. Blue kept floating. He never gave up. Finally, he saw it. The big blue sea. It stretched out as far as he could see. Blue floated into the sea. He was no longer a little boat on a big river. He was part of the vast, endless ocean. Blue learned that even small boats can reach big seas with patience and determination. Morale: keep going, even when the journey seems long and hard. The helpful frog. In a green pond lived a little frog. He loved to jump and play. One day, he saw a tiny ant near the water. "Help!" cried the ant. "I can't swim." The little frog felt sorry for the ant. He jumped into the water. He let the ant climb on his back. The frog swam to the edge of the pond. The ant was safe. "Thank you," said the ant. "You're very kind." The little frog smiled. He was happy to help. He learned that even small acts can make a big difference. Moral: helping others is always a good thing. The broken toy and the kind repair. Timmy loved his toy robot, Rusty. Rusty could walk and talk. One day, Rusty fell and broke his leg. Timmy was very sad. "Oh no, Rusty," he cried, "you're broken." Timmy tried to fix Rusty. He used tape and glue, but Rusty still couldn't walk. Timmy's grandpa saw him. Grandpa was very good at fixing things. He looked at Rusty's broken leg. "Let's see," Grandpa said. He took Rusty apart. He used small tools. He carefully put Rusty back together. After a while, Rusty's leg was fixed. He could walk again. Timmy was so happy. "Thank you, Grandpa," he said. "You fixed Rusty." Grandpa smiled. "It's important to take care of our things," he said, "and to help when we can." Timmy learned that even broken things can be fixed with kindness and care. Moral: taking care of things and helping others is important. The little seed and the tall sunflower. A tiny seed lay in the dark earth. It was scared and alone. "It's so dark," it whispered. "I'll never grow." A kind earthworm wiggled near. "Don't worry," said the earthworm. "I'll help you." The earthworm loosened the soil. The rain fell softly. The sun shone warmly. The little seed started to sprout. It grew a little stem. Then it grew leaves. It grew taller and taller. It became a tall sunflower. The sunflower turned its face to the sun. It was bright and yellow. It was happy and strong. "Thank you, earthworm," said the sunflower. "You helped me grow." The earthworm smiled. "Everyone needs help sometimes," he said. The sunflower learned that even small seeds can grow into something beautiful with a little help. Moral: everyone needs help sometimes, and with help, we can grow. The little painter and the gray day Molly loved to paint. She had bright paints and a big canvas. But one day, the sky was gray. The rain fell, and everything looked dull. Molly felt sad. "I don't want to paint today," she said. "Everything is gray." Her grandpa smiled. "Gray days can be colorful too," he said. "Let's find the colors." They went outside. They saw gray clouds, but also shiny raindrops. They saw gray rocks, but also green moss growing on them. Molly picked up a brush. She mixed gray paint with white to make lighter gray. She added tiny dots of green and blue. She painted the rainy day. She painted the shiny raindrops and the green moss. She painted the gray clouds with hints of blue. Her painting was beautiful. It showed that even a gray day had colors. Molly learned that even when things seem dull, there is always beauty to be found. Moral: look for the beauty in everything, even on gray days. The little firefly in the big dark forest. Flicker the firefly was very small, and his light was quite dim. He lived at the edge of a big dark forest. All the other fireflies had bright, strong lights, and they flew deep into the forest at night. Flicker was afraid to go. "It's too dark," he whispered. "I'll get lost. My light is too weak." One night, a little lost beetle, Benny, stumbled into the edge of the forest. He was crying and scared. "I can't see anything," he sobbed. "I'm lost." Flicker heard Benny's cries. He felt sorry for the beetle. He knew he had to help, even though he was scared. He flew close to Benny and shone his small light. "Follow my light," he said. "I'll guide you." Benny, seeing the tiny glow, felt a surge of hope. He followed Flicker's light, his little legs scrambling over roots and stones. The forest was dark and full of strange sounds. Flicker's light was just a small beacon, but it was enough to show Benny the way. They came to a clearing where the moon shone brightly. Benny saw the path leading out of the forest. "Thank you, Flicker," he cried. "You saved me." Flicker was surprised. He hadn't thought his small light could do so much. He felt a warm glow inside. "You're welcome," he said. "Even a small light can help in the darkness." He realized that his light, though small, was important. He flew into the forest, no longer afraid. He used his light to help other lost creatures. He learned that even the smallest light can make a big difference in the dark. Moral: even small acts of kindness can light the way for others, and you are stronger than you think. The grumpy badger and the cheerful chickadees. Barnaby the badger was known for his grumpy nature. He lived in a cozy burrow, but he always complained. Too sunny, he'd grumble. Too noisy. He didn't like anyone near his home. A flock of cheerful chickadees lived in the trees above Barnaby's burrow. They were always singing and playing. They loved to visit Barnaby's garden, even though he always chased them away. One cold winter, a big snowstorm covered the forest. Barnaby's burrow was buried under snow. He was trapped. He was cold and hungry. He grumbled and complained, but no one heard him. He thought he was all alone. The chickadees, despite Barnaby's grumpiness, were worried. They noticed he hadn't been outside for days. "We should help him," chirped one chickadee, "even if he's grumpy." They worked together, pecking away at the snow that blocked Barnaby's burrow. They were small, but they were determined. Finally, they cleared a path. Barnaby crawled out, shivering and weak. He was surprised to see the chickadees. "Why did you help me?" he grumbled. "I'm always mean to you." "We wanted to help," chirped a chickadee. "Everyone needs help sometimes." The chickadees shared their seeds with Barnaby. They sang cheerful songs to keep him warm. Barnaby, for the first time, felt a warmth in his heart. He realized he had been wrong. He thanked the chickadees. He even smiled. From that day on, Barnaby was no longer grumpy. He learned that kindness and friendship were more important than being alone and miserable. Moral: kindness and friendship can change even the grumpiest hearts. The little ant and the big, crumbling hill. Tiny the ant was very small, even for an ant. He lived on a big hill made of sand and earth. The hill was home to many ants, but it was old and starting to crumble. One day, after a heavy rain, a large section of the hill began to slide. The ants were terrified. "The hill is falling apart," they cried. "We'll lose our home." The bigger ants tried to push the earth back into place, but it was too heavy. They were strong, but the hill was too big. Tiny, though small, had an idea. He knew the hill was crumbling because the rain had washed away the dirt holding it together. "We need to build tunnels," he squeaked. "Tunnels will hold the earth together." The other ants looked at him, surprised. "Tunnels? But we're too small," they said. "We'll work together," Tiny said. "Many small tunnels can be strong." They started digging. Tiny showed them how to dig small, intricate tunnels that crisscrossed through the hill. They worked tirelessly, day and night. The tunnels held the earth in place. The hill stopped crumbling. The ants were safe. The bigger ants were amazed. "You saved us, Tiny," they said. "You were so clever." Tiny blushed. He had never been praised before. He realized that even though he was small, he could make a big difference. He learned that working together and using clever ideas could overcome even the biggest problems. Moral: even small individuals working together can achieve great things with clever ideas and perseverance. The Lonely Lizard and the Singing Crickets. Larry the lizard was very lonely. He lived in a quiet corner of a sunny garden. He spent his days basking on warm rocks, but he never had any friends. He was quiet and shy. One night, he heard a beautiful chorus of singing. It was the crickets chirping their evening songs. Larry had never heard anything so lovely. He crept closer to the bushes where the crickets lived. He was afraid to speak, but he wanted to hear more of their songs. The crickets, Chris, Carrie, and Clyde, noticed Larry. They stopped singing and looked at him. "Hello," chirped Chris. "Why are you hiding?" Larry blushed. "I like your songs," he whispered, "but I'm shy." "Don't be shy," chirped Carrie. "We love to sing. Would you like to sing with us?" Larry was surprised. He had never sung before. He wasn't sure he could. "We can teach you," chirped Clyde. "It's easy. Just listen to the rhythm." They started to sing again. They showed Larry how to chirp with them. At first, he was hesitant, but then he joined in. His voice was soft, but it blended well with theirs. They sang songs about the moon, the stars, and the garden. Larry felt happy. He had never felt so connected to others. The next night, Larry came back. He sang with the crickets again. He told them stories about the garden, and they told him stories about the night. Larry learned that being shy kept him from making friends. He also learned that singing and sharing stories brought him joy. The crickets learned that even quiet lizards can have beautiful voices. Moral: don't let shyness keep you from making friends and sharing your talents. The Slow Snail and the Fast Falcon Shelley. The snail was very slow. She moved at a snail's pace, leaving a silvery trail behind her. She loved to explore, but it took her a long time to get anywhere. Flicker the falcon was very fast. He could soar through the sky and see for miles. He loved to race the wind. One day, Shelley was slowly making her way to a field of delicious clover. She was very hungry. Flicker, flying overhead, saw her. He swooped down and landed beside her. "What are you doing, little snail?" he asked. "I'm going to the clover field," Shelley said. "But it's so far away." Flicker laughed. "You'll never get there at that speed," he said. "I could fly there in seconds." He took off, circling the field. He saw a group of farmers setting traps for the animals. He knew Shelley would be in danger if she reached the field. He flew back to Shelley. "Don't go to the field," he said. "There are traps." Shelley was surprised. "How do you know?" she asked. "I can see everything from the sky," Flicker said. Shelley, though slow, was wise. "Thank you," she said. "You saved me." She slowly turned around and went back home. She knew she was slow, but she was also careful. Flicker, though fast, realized he needed to slow down and pay attention to the details. He learned that being fast wasn't always the best. They both learned that everyone has different strengths and they could help each other. Moral: everyone has unique strengths, and we should appreciate and learn from each other. The Little Mouse and the Big Messy House. Milo the mouse lived in a big old house. The house was very messy. There were piles of papers, scattered toys, and dusty furniture everywhere. Milo was a very tidy mouse. He didn't like the mess. "This is awful," he squeaked. "I can't find anything." One day, a little girl named Lily moved into the house. She was very messy too. She left her toys and clothes everywhere. The house became even messier. Milo was very frustrated. He tried to clean up, but it was too much for one little mouse. He saw Lily playing with her toys. He decided to try and talk to her. "Lily," he squeaked, "this house is very messy." Lily looked at him, surprised. "Oh," she said, "I like it messy." Milo sighed. "But it's hard to find things," he said, "and it's not very clean." Lily thought about it. She realized Milo was right. It was hard to find her favorite doll in the mess. "Maybe we can clean up together," she said. Milo was surprised but happy. They started to clean. Lily picked up her toys, and Milo helped her organize them. They swept the floors and dusted the furniture. It took a long time, but they worked together. The house became clean and organized. Lily found her favorite doll, and Milo found his favorite cheese. They were both happy. Lily learned that being tidy wasn't so bad, and Milo learned that even messy people can be good friends. Moral: working together makes big tasks easier, and finding common ground can lead to friendship. The Clumsy Crane and the Clever Crab. Cecil, the crane, was very clumsy. He often tripped over his long legs and knocked things over with his big beak. He wanted to be graceful like the other birds, but he just couldn't manage it. Clarence the crab was very clever. He was small, but he was quick and resourceful. He could find food in the most difficult places. One day, Cecil was trying to catch fish in a shallow pool. He tripped and fell into the water, splashing everything. He couldn't catch any fish. Clarence, who was hiding under a rock, saw Cecil's clumsy attempts. He felt sorry for the crane. "Maybe I can help," he thought. He crawled out from under the rock and waved his claw. "Cecil," he called, "try using your beak like a spear." Cecil was surprised. He had never thought of using his beak that way. He tried it, carefully aiming his beak at the fish. He caught one. "Wow," he exclaimed. "That works." Clarence showed Cecil how to find the best fishing spots and how to move slowly and quietly. Cecil learned to be more careful and precise. In return, Cecil used his long legs to reach high branches and pick ripe fruit for Clarence, which the crab couldn't reach. They became friends. Cecil learned that being clumsy didn't mean he couldn't learn new things. Clarence learned that even big, clumsy creatures could be helpful. They realized that everyone had different skills, and they could help each other. Moral: everyone has unique skills, and we can learn from each other to overcome our weaknesses. The Little Owl and the Big, Noisy Day. Oliver the owl was a little owl, and he loved the quiet of the night. The big, bright day, with all its sounds and activity, made him nervous. He preferred the silent, starry nights. One sunny day, a small chirping sparrow, Pip, flew into the old oak tree where Oliver lived. Pip was very upset. "My nest blew away," he cried, "and I can't find my family." Oliver, despite being nervous about the day, felt sorry for Pip. He knew he had to help. "Don't worry," he hooted softly. "I can help you look." He carefully flew out of his tree, keeping close to the shadows of the leaves. He used his sharp eyesight to scan the ground for Pip's nest. The day was filled with buzzing bees, singing birds, and rustling leaves. Oliver's ears were sensitive, and the noise made him jump. But he kept looking. He saw a pile of twigs and feathers near a bush. "Is that your nest?" he asked Pip. Pip flew down and chirped happily. "Yes, that's it." But Pip's family wasn't there. They had flown off to find food. Oliver, remembering his own family, felt a pang of sadness. He decided to help Pip find them. They flew together, Oliver using his keen hearing to listen for Pip's family's calls. They flew over fields and through forests, the day growing warmer. Finally, they heard a chorus of chirps. Pip flew toward the sound, and Oliver followed. Pip's family was gathered in a tall tree, eating berries. They were overjoyed to see Pip. "Thank you, Oliver," Pip chirped. "You helped me find my family." Oliver smiled. He had never been out during the day for so long. He realized that the day wasn't so scary after all, and helping others made him feel good. He learned that even though he was afraid of the day, he could still be brave and helpful. Moral: helping others can help us overcome our fears, and kindness is always rewarded. The Little Snail and the Big Busy Garden. Sammy the snail was very slow and quiet. He lived in a big, busy garden. The garden was full of colorful flowers, buzzing bees, and hopping frogs. Sammy was shy and afraid of all the activity. "It's too noisy," he whispered, "and everyone is so fast. I'll just stay on this leaf." One day, a little lost ladybug, Lucy, landed on Sammy's leaf. She was crying. "I can't find my way home," she sobbed. "The garden is so big." Sammy felt sorry for Lucy. He knew how it felt to be lost and afraid. "Don't worry," he said softly. "I can help you. I know a slow, quiet path." He slowly crawled off his leaf, leaving a silvery trail behind him. Lucy followed him, her tiny legs moving quickly. Sammy led Lucy through the garden, avoiding the busy flower beds and the noisy bees. He showed her the quiet corners, the shady leaves, and the damp, cool earth. They passed a group of frogs leaping and croaking. Sammy flinched, but Lucy smiled. "They're having fun," she said. Sammy realized that the garden wasn't just noisy and scary, it was also full of life and joy. They came to a patch of bright red flowers. Lucy's home was nearby. "Thank you, Sammy," she said. "You helped me find my way." Sammy smiled. He had never explored the garden before. He realized that it wasn't so scary after all. He learned that even though he was slow and quiet, he could still help others. He also learned that there was beauty and joy to be found in the garden if he just looked closely. He slowly crawled back to his leaf, no longer afraid. He watched the bees buzzing and the frogs hopping, and he smiled. Moral: don't let fear keep you from exploring the world, and remember that even small acts of kindness can make a big difference. The little tadpole and the big, fast river. Tad the tadpole was very small and lived in a quiet pond. He was afraid of the big, fast river that flowed nearby. All the other tadpoles dreamed of swimming in the river, but Tad stayed in the pond, trembling. "It's too fast," he squeaked. "I'll be swept away. I'm too little." One day, a small lost minnow, Min, swam into the pond, crying. The river current had carried him away from his family. "I can't find my way back," he sobbed. "The river is too strong." Tad felt sorry for Min. He knew how it felt to be afraid of a bigger world. He took a deep breath and swam towards the pond's edge. "I'll help you," he said. "I know a slow, safe path." He led Min through the shallow reeds and along the quiet banks of the river. He showed him the calm eddies and the sheltered coves. The river roared and rushed, but Tad kept Min safe. They avoided the strong currents and the swirling whirlpools. They came to a quiet inlet where a group of minnows were swimming. Min's family was among them. "Min!" they cried. "You're safe." Min thanked Tad. "You saved me," he said. "You were very brave." Tad blushed. He had never been called brave before. He had always been afraid of the river. He looked at the river. It was still fast and strong, but he wasn't as scared anymore. He realized that even small creatures could navigate big challenges with courage and care. He learned that even though he was small, he could help others, and that the world was not as scary as he thought. Moral: courage and care can help us navigate even the biggest challenges, and we are stronger than we think. The little cricket and the big silent meadow chirp. The cricket was very small and his voice was very soft. He lived in a big silent meadow. All the other crickets had loud, strong chirps. They sang their songs all night long. Chirp was afraid to sing. "My chirp is too quiet," he whispered. "No one will hear me." One night, a small lost firefly, Glow, landed near Chirp's hiding place. She was crying softly. "I can't find my way home," she sobbed. "It's so quiet and dark." Chirp felt sorry for Glow. He knew how it felt to be afraid of silence. He took a deep breath and chirped. His chirp was soft, but it was clear. "Follow my chirp," he said. "I'll guide you." Glow, seeing the tiny spark of light and hearing the soft chirp, felt a surge of hope. She followed Chirp's gentle sound. They moved slowly through the silent meadow. The moon shone softly, casting long shadows. Chirp's chirp was like a tiny beacon in the quiet night. They came to a cluster of glowing mushrooms. Glow's family was gathered there, their lights twinkling like tiny stars. "Glow," they cried. "You're safe." Glow thanked Chirp. "Your chirp saved me," she said. "It was so gentle and kind." Chirp blushed. He had never thought his quiet chirp could be so helpful. He realized that even small sounds could make a big difference in the silence. He learned that his voice, though soft, was important. He also learned that the silent meadow wasn't so scary after all. It was just waiting for a gentle song. He chirped again, a little louder this time. The other crickets heard him and joined in. Their chorus filled the meadow with a soft, beautiful melody. Moral: even small voices can make a big difference, and kindness can be found in the quietest places. The lost scarf and the shared warmth. Lily loved her bright red scarf. It was soft and warm, and she wore it everywhere. One cold winter day, while playing in the park, she lost it. She searched and searched, but it was gone. She went home, her cheeks red and her heart heavy. She told her neighbor, old Mrs. Gable, about her lost scarf. Mrs. Gable was known for her kindness and her love of knitting. "Oh dear," Mrs. Gable said, her eyes full of sympathy. "That's a shame, but don't worry, we'll find a way to keep you warm." The next day, Mrs. Gable brought over a big basket filled with colorful yarn. "Let's make a new scarf," she said, "together." Lily was surprised. She had never knitted before. Mrs. Gable patiently showed her how to loop the yarn and create stitches. They worked together, side by side, their hands moving slowly and carefully. As they knitted, Mrs. Gable told Lily stories about her childhood, about snowy days and warm mittens. Lily told Mrs. Gable about her favorite games and her dreams of becoming an artist. They shared laughter and quiet moments. The yarn became a symbol of their growing friendship. When the scarf was finished, it wasn't as bright red as Lily's old one. It was a mix of colors, each one representing a part of their shared time. It was also much warmer, filled with the warmth of their friendship. A few days later, Lily found her lost red scarf tucked under a park bench. She was happy, of course, but she realized something important. She didn't need just one scarf to stay warm. She had Mrs. Gable's scarf, filled with shared warmth and kindness. She had learned that sometimes what we lose leads us to something even more valuable: friendship and shared experiences. Moral: sometimes what we lose leads us to unexpected friendships and shared warmth, which are more valuable than material possessions. The broken bicycle and the helping hands. 10-year-old Sam loved his old blue bicycle. It was his ticket to adventure, his way to explore the neighborhood and visit his friends. One afternoon, while racing down a hill, he hit a big rock. Crash! The bicycle's front wheel bent and the chain snapped. Sam was heartbroken. He tried to fix it himself, but he didn't have the right tools or the know-how. He dragged the broken bicycle home. His shoulders slumped. His neighbor, Mr. Jones, a retired mechanic, saw Sam's sad face and the damaged bicycle. "What happened, Sam?" he asked. Sam explained, his voice filled with disappointment. Mr. Jones smiled. "Let's take a look," he said. "We can fix it." They wheeled the bicycle into Mr. Jones's garage, a place filled with tools and the smell of oil. Mr. Jones showed Sam how to straighten the wheel and reconnect the chain. He explained the mechanics of the bicycle, the gears, and the brakes. Sam, who had never been interested in fixing things before, was fascinated. He learned how to use a wrench, how to tighten bolts, and how to oil the chain. It took time and patience, but they worked together, their hands greasy and their faces determined. Mr. Jones shared stories about his own childhood and his love of fixing things. Sam shared his dreams of becoming a scientist. When the bicycle was finally fixed, it looked as good as new. Sam's face lit up with joy. He hopped on the bicycle and rode around the block, his heart filled with gratitude. He didn't just have a fixed bicycle. He had learned new skills, and he had forged a new friendship with Mr. Jones. He realized that even broken things can be fixed with helping hands and shared knowledge. Moral: helping hands and shared knowledge can fix more than just broken objects. They can build friendships and teach valuable lessons. The Bat and Bright Day. Barty the Bat was very small and shy. He only came out at night. The big, bright day scared him. He stayed hidden in his dark cave, sleeping. One day, a little lost ladybug, Dot, flew into Barty's cave. She was crying. "I can't find my way home," she sobbed. "The sun is so bright, it hurts my eyes." Barty felt sorry for Dot. He knew how it felt to be scared of the light. "Don't worry," he said. "I can help you. I know a cool, shady path." He carefully flew out of his cave, keeping close to the shadows. He led Dot through the dark corners of the forest, where the sun couldn't reach. Dot followed him, her eyes still a little sore. She was grateful for Barty's help. They came to a field of tall flowers. The flowers provided shade, and Dot's eyes felt better. "Thank you, Barty," she said. "You saved me." Barty blushed. He had never been outside during the day before. He realized the shadows weren't so scary after all. "You're welcome," he said. "Maybe the day isn't so bad." He saw a butterfly fluttering in the shade. He saw a squirrel playing in the shadows of a tree. He saw the world in a new light. He learned that even though he was afraid of the day, he could still help others. He also learned that there was beauty to be found, even in the shadows. Moral: even when we are afraid, we can still help others, and we might discover new things along the way. The lost recipe and the shared meal. Maria loved to bake. Her grandmother's old recipe book was her most prized possession, filled with handwritten notes and secrets for delicious treats. One day, while moving things around her small apartment, she lost the book. Panic set in. The book wasn't just a collection of recipes, it was a connection to her grandmother, a way to keep her memory alive. She searched everywhere, but it was nowhere to be found. Her neighbor, Mr. Chen, a kind elderly man who ran a small community garden, noticed Maria's distress. "What's wrong, dear?" he asked. Maria explained, her voice trembling. Mr. Chen nodded thoughtfully. "Perhaps we can find another way to remember your grandmother," he said. "Let's cook a meal together, using memories instead of recipes." Maria was hesitant. She wasn't sure she could recreate her grandmother's dishes from memory. But Mr. Chen was persuasive. He reminded her of the smells, the textures, and the tastes of her grandmother's cooking. They went to the community garden, gathering fresh vegetables and herbs. Mr. Chen showed Maria how to select the best ingredients, how to chop vegetables with precision, and how to season dishes with care. As they cooked, they shared stories about their grandmothers, their childhoods, and their favorite meals. They laughed, they cried, and they learned about each other's cultures and traditions. The meal they prepared wasn't exactly like Maria's grandmother's. It was a blend of their memories, a fusion of their cultures. But it was delicious, and more importantly, it was filled with warmth and connection. Maria realized that while she had lost her recipe book, she had gained something even more valuable: a new friend, shared memories, and a deeper understanding of her own heritage. She learned that food wasn't just about recipes. It was about sharing, remembering, and creating new traditions. Moral: Shared meals and memories can create new connections and traditions that are just as precious as lost heirlooms. The silent musician and the shared melody. Leo loved music, but he was painfully shy. He played his old violin in his small apartment, the melodies filling the quiet space, but he never dared to play in front of others. He feared judgment, the silence after a performance, the potential for failure. One day, a notice appeared on the community bulletin board: Open mic night at the community center. Leo's heart pounded. He wanted to play, to share his music, but his fear held him back. His neighbor, Clara, a lively woman who ran the local bakery, noticed his hesitation. "You should go, Leo," she said, her eyes twinkling. "Your music is beautiful. You shouldn't keep it hidden." Leo shook his head. "I can't," he mumbled. "I'm too shy." Clara smiled. "We'll go together," she said. "I'll bake some treats, and we'll share them with everyone. It'll be a celebration." Leo was still nervous, but Clara's enthusiasm was contagious. They went to the community center, Clara carrying a basket of warm cookies and Leo clutching his violin case. The room was filled with people, some singing, some reciting poems, some playing instruments. Leo's hands trembled as he tuned his violin. Clara, sensing his fear, gave him a warm smile. "Just play from your heart," she said. "They'll love it." He closed his eyes and began to play. The melody was slow and gentle, filled with the emotions he couldn't express in words. The room fell silent. When he finished, there was a moment of quiet, and then applause erupted. People cheered, their faces filled with appreciation. Afterward, people came up to him, asking about his music, sharing their own stories. Leo, surprised, found himself talking and laughing. He wasn't shy anymore. He realized that his fear had kept him from sharing his gift and connecting with others. He also realized that music wasn't just about playing notes. It was about sharing emotions and creating a shared experience. He and Clara shared their treats and their stories, creating a melody of friendship and shared joy. Moral: sharing your talents and overcoming your fears can lead to unexpected connections and shared joy.